Hi all, welcome to SUPboarder Industry Insights, and this time we are talking about SUP Safety and how we at SUPboarder can help your SUP business, your SUP brand, whatever you're doing in SUP, ensure the safety of the paddling community around the world. All of us leaders within the stand-up paddleboarding industry have a responsibility to keep our paddle community safe, to help them understand the risks associated with using their paddleboards on the water. So what exactly is SUP Safe? Well, it's an 8-point checklist that asks questions of the paddler to help them understand and query whether they really know what they're doing. If they don't know the answer to one of these questions, they can look at one of the 9 videos that make up the SUP Safe series for a very quick, concise answers to learn about the risks that they might be putting themselves in and how to correctly manage them. SUP Safe is easily accessible to anybody via a QR code. But the really important thing to remember is that the way that we have designed and produced SUP Safe allows you all to use it too. You can use SUP Safe as your SUP safety resource, as your SUP safety campaign too, to make sure that we get a consistent, accurate and full SUP safety message out there to all of the paddleboarders. If you want to know how SUP Safe came about, what the research is that sits behind it and how you can use it effectively to help campaign for great SUP safety around the world, watch on. So why did we at SUPboarder embark on such a big SUP safety project? Well, around 3 years ago, we identified that there was a stand-up paddleboarding safety emergency starting to appear. Lots of people were getting into the sport without any experience of being on the water, which is absolutely fantastic for the sport of paddleboarding, but really bad for people's safety. Having seen this problem, we commissioned a research study by a very experienced paddleboard instructor and behavioural change specialist. We researched the problem, surveyed our community, spoke to huge numbers of people in the industry to understand what the problem was and how we could help. The research showed us very clearly that there was a huge knowledge gap in a large number of paddleboarders. They didn't understand that they were putting themselves at risk, and they didn't have any means of finding clear, concise information for how to upskill themselves where they did have gaps in their knowledge. The research also showed us that video was the best way to engage with paddle communities. The research dived into a lot of personality types and how people engage with safety messaging and learning. What we found out is that a large proportion of people probably aren't going to take notice of any safety information, but around 50% of the population will. Now, we might not be able to reach everybody because there's a large number of people who are going to ignore the safety messages. But if we have 50% of the people out there doing it safely, they will certainly influence the people who might be putting themselves and others at risk. So why did we at SUPboarder lead on such a project? Well, really here at SUPboarder, our job is to educate and inspire paddleboarders within our community to learn more about paddleboarding, pick up new disciplines and just get as stoked as we are on the sport that we all here really love. And SUP Safety was an area where there was a huge gap in knowledge and therefore a need for education. But also we saw a really great opportunity to be able to really lead on a SUP Safe campaign. Here at SUPboarder, we specialise in creating video content that's highly engaged with. And through the research that we did on the SUP Safe project in the early days, a huge number of people in the industry said that they didn't have time or the knowledge to be able to produce the content that was needed to help all of this SUP safety problem. So we designed and developed and produced SUP Safe to be able to be used by a multitude of SUP businesses, whether you are a brand, a school or a shop. There's lots of reasons how that's been done, including making it hugely accessible, open source, but one of the key reasons is that everything is filmed on unbranded equipment. This means that the barriers for brands in particular for being able to use SUP Safe are minimised. We really want SUP Safe to be used by as many people as possible and recognise that producing safety content can't be at the forefront of some SUP businesses' priorities. So we've created the resource for you, and we really hope you can get behind it and use it and spread the message to help keep people safe on the water. SUPboarder has a really large community, and we can have a large influence across the world. But every paddleboard brand, school, shop, business has its own community. And if they can reach people and upskill people and help fill that SUP safety knowledge gap, then we will prevent SUP safety issues going forward much quicker. As a result, the SUP Safe project has free to use open access assets. We have a media library full of assets that anybody can use, and it's freely available. All of our videos can be embedded wherever you want. It's all free and available for you to use. SUP Safe is also designed to be extremely accessible for the consumer, utilising QR codes, and we've created assets to help get SUP Safe and its QR codes to point of sale onto product, so people can directly link to SUP safety advice when they don't know what they're doing, even if they're on the water. So how can you get involved with SUP Safe? How can you share the great safety message and take responsibility for leading on SUP safety? Well, like I said before, you can help amplify the message that we're putting out to our community to your communities. And hopefully it won't cost you very much because we've done a lot of the hard work already. The easiest thing you can do is share the SUP Safe website, share the social media posts, or post the social media assets yourself with links to those videos. All of the videos are available in the media library for you to use, so you can post them onto your own channels and promote them and promote good SUP safety advice. You can also use all of the resources in your own websites and not just push people to our website. You can embed the videos, add the videos on your own SUP safety pages to enhance the content that's already there and make sure that your SUP safety advice is backed by really good, solid information that's complete and really will help people keep safer on the water. What we really want to achieve with SUP Safe, as well as making sure people see the videos, is make sure that SUP Safe gets to point of sale. We want to see SUP Safe branding and SUP Safe QR codes on boxes for paddleboards, on paddles, on boards. So when people do put themselves in a situation where they are going paddleboarding and might be at risk and they are unsure, they can quickly find the right information that will help them understand whether they should or shouldn't go on the water. We've produced loads of assets that are all freely available in the media library that could be used on packaging, in user manuals, across your whole brand if you wish to. Don't forget that you can also request leaflets from us or SUP Safe stickers. We have loads and loads of resources that are free, or you can take the digital resources online and produce your own where you are in the world. Please, please, please get behind the SUP Safe campaign. This is all about keeping people safe on the water. And as a SUP industry, we all have the responsibility to do that. Hopefully, SUP Safe and the way that we've designed and produced it with all the assets and the freely available assets can help your business by removing some of the barriers there are to producing good, consistent and concise information to help fill that knowledge gap that there is causing this SUP safety problem. Thanks for watching, and I'll look forward to seeing you on another Industry Insights really soon.
Before you head out onto the water with your stand-up paddleboard, it's really important you plan your paddle to help ensure you and your paddling buddies have a fun and safe SUP session. Make sure you consider the following: the wind and the